Hello, BrookHill family. This is Dr. Gardner again, Gary Gardner. Nice to talk with you. We have our brochure and pricing that's connected to this email that you're getting. Very excited about that. One of the people that's going to go with us on the trip is Ben Rogers.
Hey, everybody.
And he's going to talk a little bit as we go. But Mr. Rogers teaches the Bible courses in the middle school. But when the school was still small, he taught all three grades and set up a real systematic study. Now we have some other teachers that help out, but it's still very systematic in the middle school. If you're a lower school parent, you're going to really love how we get that done. So, yeah, like I said, he'll be talking a little bit, and he's going to go with us and speak at some of the sides. It's going to be great. But I want to start us off with a quick little Bible study. So I'm in Isaiah 54:2, and when I say little, I mean little. And this is a verse that meant a lot to me, and it's kind of what we're asking you to do with this trip, because it's hard to free up summers in today's world. Americans are so busy. And that's not even talking about the money, because regardless of where you are with your income, this is not a quick spend like, oh, yeah, I'll do that with spare change. So but this is kind of what we're asking, and this is a verse that God used for me to get me to go outside of my comfort zone probably 25 years ago and do something different. And here it is. By the way, if you haven't read Isaiah 54, it'll fire you up. This is the chapter that has, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, that kind of stuff. It's a great chapter. But here's the verse in particular, verse 2. Enlarge the place of your tent, and let them stretch out the curtains of your dwellings. Do not spare, lengthen your cords, and strengthen your stakes. So that's what this trip is about, man. It's about taking a chance, setting out those tent stakes in a further place, and waiting to see what happens. And, when the good comes, the enemy comes too, and he tries to disrupt us a little bit, but it's worth it, because, again, no weapon formed against us towards the end of the chapter is going to succeed. So I'll do a separate video, and you'll see the link down as well that covers the pricing and kind of talks to you about airlines and all that. We're going to keep that out of this video to keep this one as short as possible. So, Mr. Rogers, anything jump at you right away as you're looking at that itinerary?
Yeah, Dr. Gardner, I'm really excited about all of these sites that we're going to get to go and visit. I've never been to Israel before, know lots about the Bible story, but I don't have a frame of reference for what things look like or a picture in my mind other than, seeing other people's photos. And I'm really excited about all of them, but there are a couple in particular that I'm really, really excited about. So on our third day, we're going to be visiting a couple different locations that are all nearby. Mount Carmel, Megiddo, Nazareth. These are all important cities, of course, in not only the Old Testament, but in the New Testament. And of course, they're going to be important for the future of this age when Jesus brings the kingdom on earth. And day 5 is really, really exciting. We get to go on a boat ride on the Sea of Galilee where Jesus walks on water, where he calls the disciples by performing the miracle with the fish. We get to go to the mountain where I assume people think that Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount with the Beatitudes. That's pretty incredible. We get to go to Capernaum. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not, but
that's for me.
Where Jesus is stationed in Galilee for the first year of his ministry and in teaching. That's really exciting to me. And then the last one, again, they're all incredible, but day 7, to get to go to Jerusalem and go to the Mount of Olives and go to the Garden of Gethsemane and be where our Lord poured out his life for us and fulfilled in his final week all of the things that the scriptures had been prophesying. And we talk a lot about that in Bible 7 and 8 and do a whole semester of just the last week of Jesus' life. And so to have done that this last semester and then get to go to those places, it's going to be really, really exciting.
One of the little stories about being in Israel is the Sea of Galilee. When you take that boat trip, when they call it the Jesus boat, you get on there, and there is an actual Jesus boat in a museum in the north side of the Galilee from the first century. I think it would be like the ones he was on. But anyway, we get there, and you get off, and these guys are pros. And the one we usually get on is a believer. Not everyone in Israel, obviously, is a believer. And so he does his own music, and he's got a microphone up there, and he sings, he's got his tracks. But they are super smart, because even the ones who aren't believers, you get on this boat, you've been in Israel a while, you're starting to feel, like this isn't Texas anymore. And As soon as you hit the boat and the boat gets off the dock, boom, they hit the Christian music. You've got, all those great tunes from back home, and they're playing loud. It's like, yeah, we are home. So anyway, they know what they're doing. It's really a good trip in that regard. Anything else that jumps out at you?
One of my previous students in my youth ministry was able to visit Masada, which is not something that most Christians are well acquainted with, but getting to hike up that very important site was something that impressed upon me when he told me about going a few years back, and so that one's really exciting. Getting to go to the place where David defeated Goliath. I'm not sure that's going to be something that anybody will ever forget. Just so many incredible places that we get to pull out our Bible and to read the words of Scripture in the places where they're being referenced or might have even been written or sang or prayed. That's just going to be incredible, I think.
Well, we're going to, I'll just see if there's anything else I need to wrap up with this one. I'm going to keep it short, but you can see in the times we spent in Jerusalem, my first trip to Israel, I thought I would love the Galilee more because I'm more quiet and peace than city. But I fell in love with Jerusalem, the old city as well as the modern city. So I think Ben is right there. So you're going to love that. And the hotels we've got are very nice, and the transportation grid is good. We'll be able to go places and see things. In the connected video, and then also has a link here about the pricing. I'll talk about a couple things we probably won't do because I want you to be prepared, and there's reasons for that, and there's some adjustments we can make. Now, before we go, do understand that this itinerary, it's kind of like the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. They're not so much rules as guidelines. Mm-hmm. You've got to be flexible in Israel. So I would bet we'll do everything that's on this itinerary, but we may not do them all in the same order because sometimes you've got to flip things around. And that first day on here is very flexible because we may get to Israel at 10 o'clock in the morning, their time. I prefer to get there at 4 or 5, their time. And if we get there at 4 or 5, we'll basically go to the hotel, eat, and I'll keep you up till 11 or so. If we get there earlier, we'll either do the Jaffa day or we'll go to the beach. I really love the beaches in Tel Aviv. They really are good. You can tell looking at me, I'm not a beach guy, but they're the best beaches I've been on. So anyway, very pleasant. And that'll be a nice family day if you bring your family. So this is the BFF, BrookHill Family and Friends. Now, I know BrookHill's 2 words, but for my little initial thing, it needs to be one. So if you've got family that are in Ohio and they want to join us, we want them there. If you've got a really good friend and you're going, you can be their BrookHill connection to make this trip. We are going to probably start cutting it off at about 50. Because the bus will hold about 50. So do get yourself signed up quickly. The price went a little higher than we wanted, and their first couple of offers to me, I sent back to them and said, rework it. We've got to get a price down because the war in Iran has pushed fuel costs up. So, and again, just to remind you, if it's too dangerous, we don't go. And so I'll talk about that more in the other video where it's just me talking about the pricing and all. But very excited. Enlarge the size of your tent. Be ready for God to do something new. Build an experience with your family and friends. And this is going to be a major and amazing trip. More so than the trips I've been to before. But I really do think there's something special about BrookHill and what we're trying to do.
Can't wait. No, I'm just so excited. Thank you, Dr. G.
Thank you guys for listening.